I want to shed some light on a topic that I think everybody is familiar with and most people are actually against, and rightfully so. Corporate homeownership. Does it benefit anybody? I don't think so. And in this video, we're going to talk about why. There's a company called Invitation Homes, and this company is not the only company that owns homes, okay? Corporate homeownership is a problem because people who are affected by corporations buying homes and renting them out, and specifically single-family homes, are families. People who have kids and they are trying to get into homeownership. Many people have to sit on the sidelines because of a bunch of different variables, but what doesn't help the situation are corporations that are in fact buying these homes and not holding them for a short period of time and then reselling them. They're buying them and actually playing landlord and trying to rent them out. So families sitting on the sideline, that's the obvious one. But who else does it affect? Well, it affects the tenants, the people who live in these homes. And why does it affect the tenants? Well, Invitation Homes is a publicly traded company, which means their fiduciary duty is not to the tenants themselves. They're just simply a byproduct in their product. Their fiduciary duty is to their shareholders. And about 10% of Invitation Homes' real estate portfolio is right here in the Tampa Bay area. They have roughly 10,000 homes in the area. And a more simple way to look at it is 1 out of 9 homes is owned by Invitation Homes. And keep in mind, Invitation Homes is just one company. They're just one of many corporations that are buying up homes, specifically single-family homes, not just in Tampa, but across the United States. Now, what does this have to do with us? Well, it has to do with us because we've actually been asked to go out to some of these properties via a third party that I would also like to add isn't even located in Florida. Meaning Invitation Homes is hiring third parties to essentially do their delegation of when things need fixed and repaired. And I think they do this because it's a little bit of a buffer between them and the tenants in case there's any liability issues. Instead of going after Invitation Homes would point the finger at these third-party property managers, essentially. So I've personally been out to a couple of different homes that are owned by Invitation Homes. Now, we've actually never performed work on behalf of the third party or Invitation Homes at all, but we have walked a couple of their properties to throw our hat in the ring in terms of giving them an estimate. And what I saw was pretty crazy. Essentially, they would kind of approach it like it's just a drywall repair and we just need you to throw up some drywall, but it's never that simple. There's always a leak involved, and whenever there's a leak, there's water, and whenever there's a lot of water in a home that has gone unnoticed for a time, there is in fact mold. And almost all these jobs, while it was never formally tested, I saw visible mold, but for legality purposes, it's microbial growth, okay? So we sent them a quote for formal remediation, being that we are a remediation company. Of course, that quote was not accepted, and why would it be? When you're a publicly traded company and your fiduciary duty are shareholders, you're not concerned if the job gets done properly. No, they want to find the cheapest individual possible to do these repairs. And just do the repair. Don't worry about what you're covering up. It's none of our business, and it's none of your business. It's kind of how they pitch it. Ultimately, it's very frustrating. We're a home service provider and we take pride in our work. And there's many other companies in the Tampa Bay area and across the US that do the same thing. They're licensed and they're qualified, but they're just too expensive. So who does Invitation Homes turn to for these repairs? Well, they turn to maybe illegals, felons, or just fly-by-night handymen who don't have skill on how to do the job properly. Now, I could care less who you hire. I really could. The reason why it is a problem is because it's not just a homeowner who might be balling on a budget and is just looking for the cheapest quote. Totally fine, hire the cheapest guy. In fact, when people call us and they beat us up on price, I always tell them, hey, there are plenty of individuals out there, some of whom I could provide contact information to, who could do this maybe a little bit cheaper. That is a homeowner who is living in the home, and that's fine. Right? Because that homeowner is not being a landlord. See, Invitation Homes is a publicly traded company and they have money. They're responsible for their tenants' well-being. And when repairs aren't getting done sufficiently, specifically around water or mold damage, that affects the tenant's well-being in some way, shape, or form, whether they realize it or not. And don't take my word for it, there are a bunch of Facebook groups that have hundreds of thousands of posts about their experience with Invitation Homes. And many of these individuals inside these Facebook groups have active lawsuits going on between them and Invitation Homes. See for yourself, join some of these Facebook groups. I mean, there's a bunch of them here. See, corporate home ownership, it also affects home service providers like us. Those corporations, they have no interest in hiring qualified companies to do it because they only care about their bottom line. Those 10,000 homes that they own are 10,000 less homes that we get the ability to service. I'm just in water and mold remediation. There are so many other companies out there, electricians, plumbers, landscapers, you name it. 10,000 less homes that those guys also get to service as well. So what do we do about this? Well, I like to look at it as starting small. The best analogy I can give you is when you throw a stone into a lake, it creates an immediate ripple just around the area where the stone was thrown. But as a little bit of time passes, you'll notice that those ripples get bigger and bigger. And before you know it, those ripples have created small waves across the entire lake, no matter how big the lake is. So it's important to know change starts small and it starts immediately around you. And so being that we're a local home service provider company, we do water and mold remediation, and I've seen some of the stuff with my own eyes, I decided to raise some awareness around it. And it's not just Tampa that's affected, it is people all over the United States. So if you're somebody coming across this video, maybe you're doing your due diligence, or you're mad about Invitation Homes and you're looking for more ammunition, or maybe you're stuck in a lease with Invitation Homes and you're looking for a way out, here's some advice I'd like to give to you. Some of the worst issues that people experience when they are renting, whether it's Invitation Homes or somebody else, is water damage and mold. That is the most common thing that just gets overlooked, and a lot of times it gets underserviced, meaning landlords, whether they know it or not, they just think, oh, you just clear out the wet drywall and throw up new drywall, not realizing that some of the structure could still be wet, or that there's extensive microbial growth and moisture traveled a lot further than it should have. So it's really important that a professional comes in and formally assesses it. My advice to you would be to hire a mold assessor, somebody who is licensed or certified to diagnose and test for mold. That all gets summarized in a report and sent to you. Now, if you're a tenant, that report is very valuable to you because it's a way for you to get the ball rolling. It's probably not going to be something that can get you out of your lease entirely, but it certainly can get the ball moving in the right direction, which is what you want. The problem is a lot of renters, they just go on Amazon and they get this DIY test kit. Ultimately, you could poke so many holes through that because how do you know that you did it right? Well, when there's a licensed certified professional coming in the situation, testing the environment, testing the area, it's a little bit harder to poke holes in that. And it ultimately can help you get the ball rolling in the right direction for you. Now, that's my advice for tenants. I'm not telling you this advice to just go look for mold in a bunch of obscure areas. No, I'm giving this advice to people who are truly dealing with serious issues. For everybody else, I think the advice is a little bit more simple and practical, is look to your local politicians and try to find people who are not only against corporate home ownership, but are willing to implement policies and laws to solve the problem of corporations owning homes and playing landlord. While the issue might not get solved overnight, at least the ball is moving in the right direction, and that's really all we can hope for right now. All that being said, I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching this week's video.